Hey everybody, Prow here, and welcome to another episode here on the Bedrock Guide. And I am spending some time flying over the base. It looks really good, and in our last episode we finally got a hold of the Elytra, and we got some firework rockets to be able to fly around, and life is good right now, but we do not have a large supply of firework rockets or a way to automatically get them. And a good way to automatically get firework rockets is by making a mob or creeper farm. That way you can get gunpowder just simply by AFK. Now this mob farm, one of my focuses when I build things like this is I want to make them quick and easy to build. I don't want them to be huge. I want it to be okay, like not too challenging for you guys to do in survival mode. Also, I like them being very efficient. So for its size and complexity, it'll be very efficient and it's going to be fast. This guy right here gets somewhere for just one module about 7 or close to 7 stacks of gunpowder every single hour and about 3,000 total drops per hour. You are going to need a lot of scaffolding. Scaffolding you make via having bamboo and string, going over to a crafting table, and 6 bamboo and 1 string will make 6 scaffolding. So you can see here, like I have a lot here to make a whole lot of scaffolding, and we'll probably need somewhere around, I'm thinking about 30 to 35 stacks of scaffolding. This will probably be the hardest material for you guys to get. Now location is important. I've set up a little miniature like base camp area here on this little beach right by the water because we're going to be building this farm above the water. We are playing on sim distance 12 in this world, so going above water does make things quite a bit easier. If you're playing on sim distance 4, you'll have a little bit easier time working on this though. If you're on sim distance 4, you'll need to do your AFK area about 44 blocks above the water. So about Y level 110 or so would be good. If you're playing on anything above sim distance 4 though, you're going to need to put your platform 128 blocks above water level, because that's how far away mobs can spawn vertically on the higher sim distances. So you would have your AFK platform at about 191, Y level 191. You can do this above land too, but it will usually require you to build your platforms higher to be sure that that you're clear of the land, or would require you to do a lot of lighting like under the ground and that sort of thing. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing built up above the water right now. So here we are out in the middle of the ocean, and I built a pillar from the ocean floor up to where we stand now, where the center of our mob farm will be. And from here we will pillar up to the Y level 191 for me here in my sim 12 world, or at Y level 110 for you if you're on a sim 4 world like a realm. Just to note again, we have to set this height as our mob killing and AFK height, because if we set it any lower, mobs will be able to spawn in the ocean below us, which will make our mob farm here not work. I've marked the middle of the platform we built as our base area / killing floor at Y level 191, so I know where the center will be once we start putting in our platforms above. We have all the things we need here to work on our farm, like materials and a stone cutter and all those different types of things. Now mobs start spawning at up to 25 blocks away from the player, so from this center block right there, we will need to pillar up 25 blocks for our first spawning platform. Now once you pillar up the 25 blocks above the AFK platform, you are going to make your first spawning floor. What we're going to do is make a 17 by 17 square platform. Now to do that, from the center block you will be going out 8 blocks in each direction, just like this. Now do this on all 4 sides, then you're going to go in and fill in the caps. So we got this side right here, and you'll see that we have gaps in between each side. Go ahead and fill those in. Now you should have a 17 by 17 platform that looks a lot like this one right here, and I'm going to fill in the outside of this platform for decorative purposes at the floor level. But technically you don't need to do a ring of blocks to go around at the actual floor level, but you will need them to go at your foot level and head levels, which you're going to see here in just a second. Now you should have yourself at a point where you have a ring of blocks around your 17 by 17 platform, just like this. Next, you're going to put some blocks on each of the 4 corners like this, which will help you direct our water flow, which is going to be coming up. And now you should have all 4 corners of the floor set up like this, which keeps the water sources from combining together. Next, you're going to take stairs and stack them at this next level on all 4 sides of your farm, going down just like this. And next you will come to the center area of your platform. you're going to get rid of the middle 3x3 area of blocks, which is where our water flow will end up going to. Then you're going to need to get out your scaffolding and fill in the entire floor area of the spawning platform. Now this farm is using special spawning mechanics with scaffolding, which I didn't come up with, but I believe it originated from a Chinese technical community, and we will go over how this works in just a moment. Now, once you have your whole scaffolding floor in, you are going to come to the center of your farm here. You're going to punch out this inner circle of blocks that are underneath the scaffolding. I will go over how this helps in killing the mobs a lot faster in just a couple moments. And a quick interruption to your tutorial viewing. To briefly interrupt the tutorial, I would like to thank you guys for watching, and if you're enjoying things so far, please click that like. Oh gosh, I hope he doesn't get me. Please click that like and subscribe button. It helps the channel immensely. And if you're new to the Bedrock Guide, thank you so much for stopping by. I know a lot of you watching this video may not have seen the series before, so please go back to episode 1, check it out. We do a lot of good things, from basic mechanics to more complex ones that we're getting to right now in the series, and I would love to see you guys as full-time viewers of the series. Thanks a lot, and let's continue on with the tutorial. Next, we're going to fill in the stairs with water. But to do that, we need an infinite water source. The easiest way to do this will be to make yourself a 2x2 water source right here in the middle of the farm by placing down some blocks here on the floor and then surrounding those with some blocks around on all 4 sides. From there, it's time to take some buckets and start filling in the stairs. And what you will end up with is this: water flowing over all the scaffolding and pushing mobs towards the center and down the tube. Now, to go over why this works so well, first, mobs will be spawning inside the scaffolding where normally mobs cannot spawn in water. They can spawn inside of the scaffolding, so the mobs will spawn with their feet on the platform and their heads in the water, which is allowing the water to push them. To go over an important mechanic briefly, you have 2 mob density caps on Bedrock Edition. You can have 8 mobs spawn on the surface and 8 mobs spawn under the surface, totaling up to 16 mobs within a density check area, which is a 4-chunk area or radius around the mobs. This all basically means that on Bedrock Edition, mobs spawn a lot slower, so you need to kill them a lot quicker than you do on Java Edition to get rates that are worth anything at all. Your mob farms need to be efficient. So here, the mobs will be pushed towards the center area, and normally they would try to fight the current at the edge of the drop area, which in turn would be taking up the mob cap space for a longer period of time, especially spiders, which will often try to climb these edges and hang out on each floor on their way down. This method would make all mobs fall all the way down very quickly, making this small farm a lot more efficient. Ultimately, I had to do a lot of testing and go through many different ideas on how to keep the mobs moving through the farm and not getting stuck. Now, above this, you will actually be starting the next spawn floor, which is the ceiling to this level. Simply go around this level and place solid blocks all the way around. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put in the flooring on this floor, and this flooring is doubling as the ceiling for the area below. So you'll see if we jump down to the platform here, the mobs that are down here, this serves as the ceiling for them and keeps them from actually popping their heads up and getting above the scaffolding, and it keeps them solidly in the water. Now, I'm going to repeat this process about 10 times here on my world, since this world runs on the sim distance of 12. But again, if you're on a realm or a single player world that runs sim distance of 4, you're only going to be putting a total of 6 of these spawning floors. So just make sure you only do the 6. If you do more, you'll actually slow down the rates of your farm. Also, I think we're going to run a time lapse of this. So let's go ahead and cue up that time lapse music now. Super fast build mode activated. Now, breaking away from the farm for just a moment, I do owe from a resource roulette that BlujayGames beat me on stream. I owe him 15 stacks of iron, quote unquote iron. I paid him 15 stacks of iron nuggets since the game never specified what kind of iron he needed to get. But he's in short supply of iron for his item storage, so I figured I'd be nice and I'd pay him the 15 stacks of iron ore instead of the nuggets. So we have now finished the 10 spawning floors. Remember, if you're playing on Sim Distance 4, you would have only had to put in 6 of these floors. I cannot say this enough. I do not want people doing work they don't need to do. Now, I have some good plans for a look of this place later on. I don't intend to just leave it as a stone brick cube up in the sky, but man, does this thing look really awesome already, and my plans are going to look really awesome for it too. And I can't wait to have unlimited gunpowder. It's super awesome. I can't wait for infinite fireworks and maybe some TNT. We aren't done here yet though. We still need to build the drop chute, put on the roof, and have a way to collect all of the items. So I have built myself up here with some scaffolding, and we're going to get started on this drop chute. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to close off the drop chute area here, so that way mobs don't fall on us while we work. Should make things a little bit easier, and it doesn't really matter that I put that one in the wrong spot. That's fine, but this will keep us safe. And then now what we need to do is we need to take glass and we need to go around, and we're making a 5x5 cube here. Like basically we're putting 5 across on each side here, kind of surrounding ourselves in. And then we're going to do that on 2 layers just like this. And once you have the 2 blocks of glass coming down there, what you're going to want to do, and I'm using glass, by the way. You guys don't have to use glass. You can use any block. I'm just using glass because it's easier for you to see, and I like to see things happening. So that's why I'm using the glass there. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to make a little glass floor just like this, where we go across. And then let me actually build myself up here just like this, and we're gonna put that there. We're gonna go across one more and then one more, so we're gonna have a 3 wide platform going across here. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our signs, which we have right here, and we're gonna just put signs all the way across. We're doing this to block water flow, because what we're gonna end up doing, get our water here, is we're going to create water sources here just like this, bring that all the way across. And now we have flowing water. So mobs that drop down from up here will get pushed this direction and get pushed down. Now we are down below that little 3x5 platform that we made, and we're actually going to bring things down further. We want to drop these mobs 2 blocks like this. So we're going to come down 2 there. We're going to make all of this other glass around this area match that height. And then what you should have is something that looks like this. All the glass is, I'm falling. Take number 2, you should have all the glass looking like this. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a glass floor. I just use this one as a temporary block. You don't technically need that one to stay there. And then we're going to have a 2 wide floor like this. And then actually, here, let's, one more thing real quick. Let's go ahead and then let's bring this across one more like this. This across like this, and that right there. So let's bring it down a 3rd one for these. Go back up here for a moment. And then we're going to take our signs that we have right here. And then we're going to put a sign here, and a sign here, and then a sign here, and a sign here. This is also going to be to allow us to have water flow where we want water to flow. So let me go ahead and grab my water buckets here. We can get 2 water sources from the middle here, no problem. Knock this guy out. Now I can put water here and water here. Now you see I have water flowing 3 blocks, 2 blocks on the glass that we have here, and a 1 on top of the signs there, which will allow mobs to start falling down. Okay, now we are below the area we just did, and we're gonna actually come down some more. So we're gonna go down 2 more blocks on, whoops, all of these glass blocks that we already have to drop the mobs a total of 3 more spots. 1 counts as that sign right there. That's 1 drop, 2 drop, and 3 drop. And then we need to build another platform out just like this. It's gonna be a 1 block platform, just like I showed you there. Then what I'm gonna do, if I can, is jump across here, not fall down and die, which would be an amazing thing. And then we're gonna do a couple more signs. Actually, here, let's jump back down real quick because I need to do 2 more pieces of glass. I need 1 here and 1 here. That way I can attach some signs to it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do just kind of the same thing we did up here. We're gonna do a sign and a sign and a sign and a sign. And then we can put a water bucket right here. Hopefully not fall down. Ah, very close. And a water bucket right here. And then now we have flowing water again. And again, it's gonna flow the mobs down this way. Let's go over why we need to do this. So here's how the flow is gonna work, right? Mobs can fall down in any of these 5 by 5 spaces. They can fall down in any of that. If they fall here, they're gonna flow down. And they're going to either flow down to that water there, please ignore this scaffolding, I used that to get up here, or they're going to flow down to this water. If they flow down to this water, they're going to go that way and then drop down the hole. If they drop into that water, they're going to flow that way and drop down the 2x2 hole there. The reason why we kind of did this cascading effect, instead of just having this water on the same level as this water, and then it both pushing into that 2x2 hole, is because of spiders. If you have spiders over here and spiders over here pushing into that same 2x2 hole at the same time, they're going to get stuck. They're going to stay stuck. And that's going to kill the rates of your farm. And we don't want that to happen. So if we do it this way, we never have to worry about those spiders getting stuck. Now let's take a look at how to make the actual drop chute. So the drop chute here is going to use a very special mechanic that I'm pretty sure I'm the founder of. I hadn't seen anybody do it, and I've done it a few times now, and I came up with it a while ago. And this is a method to keep spiders from climbing, which is to use campfires. Now, campfires, for whatever reason, it's like the only block I've found that spiders will not try to climb as long as they're lit. They'll climb magma blocks and practically everything else, but they will not climb campfires. But campfires in Bedrock Edition are kind of tricky to place. So what we're going to do before we go get the campfires is we're going to take this little area right here, which is just an outline of that drop chute there. It's kind of hard to tell because of glass, but you'll see here in just a moment, is we're going to take this 2x2 area all the way up to the top and then connect it up to the top area. Reach it yet? Right here. I'll probably just to keep things nice and uniform, I'll go ahead. Can I reach that? Yes. Reach that, reach that. I just want to make all of this the same height as the glass right here. Just like that. Perfect. And then we're going to connect all 4 of these panes, or 8 of these panes, straight down to all 4 of those. So now it's time to get the campfires in. What we're going to do is we're just going to build ourselves up here to the top. And there's a special way that you have to put campfires in. They're kind of annoying on Bedrock Edition for a couple reasons. Number one, they don't stack, so you have to carry them all individually, which is terrible. And then number two, I'm not sure if you have to place them like this on Java or not, but on Bedrock Edition, you have to place them like this. You start at the top, go through and just get them all in. Using my pick block here, which is very handy. And you have to work your way down. So you come to this next level and you place it like this, okay? The reason why you have to do that is let me get rid of this real quick. Let's say I have a campfire here and I want to place another campfire on top of it. I'm clicking, I can't do it. You cannot place them that way. You have to do it in this layered effect to place them properly. So I'm just going to go through layer by layer just like this and fill in all the way down until we have only 2 blocks left at the bottom. Okay, so we got our campfires going all the way up. Also, you want to fill in the corners. Again, it doesn't have to be glass. You can pick whatever block you pretty much want, but fill in the corners. Otherwise, mobs can possibly glitch through here, especially later on when we add the Trident Killer in the next episode. It could cause mobs, especially spiders, to glitch through. So we want to make sure these go away. We want to make sure that we handle that. Now, we're going to do a couple things here. I want to knock out these bottom blocks. And then what you guys are going to do is one of two things. Right now, for this episode, we're going to set this up as just a manual kill zone, meaning that we're going to have some blocks here. I don't know why I knocked out the bottom ones. I definitely didn't need to. Hopefully this guy doesn't think I'm looking at him. I'm not looking at you. I promise you I'm not looking at you. We're going to, does he think I looked at him? No, he doesn't. That out. And then mobs are going to drop in here, and then we can just simply sit here and hit them and kill them manually like that. If you want to be able to AFK this, you could probably put some campfires down there, and then they'll fall into the campfires and die by the campfires. Also, what we're going to do is I'm going to knock out this floor right here, and we're going to put in some hoppers. That way when we kill the mobs, the items get collected. So I've gone up top there and I have gotten rid of that little 5x5 area that's blocking the mobs. So mobs can fall into this now. And then I've set up a little temporary storage area. Keep in mind that in the next episode, what we'll actually do is we'll not only build the Trident Killer for this and do a tutorial on that, but we'll also do a tutorial on the storage system, or show how I'm going to do like the item sorter and that sort of thing. But you see there, that's the floor level right there that you can see. And can I climb this just a little bit? We have all of the hoppers going into one hopper, which is that one right there. That one's facing down. And then all of those are facing forward into some chests here. So this is just a super basic system for the storage right now. Again, this tutorial is just more about the actual farm itself. And then in the next episode, we'll do the storage system and the Trident Killer, which will make this thing super awesome and fully automatic and AFKable, which is exactly what we want. And last but definitely not least, it is time to get this farm fully operational, fully functional. What we are going to do is we're going to go along the outside of this area right here, and we're going to border this with one more block. And then we're going to then take this area and we are going to fill it in with leaves. What we're trying to accomplish here is actually allowing to make this area right here spawnable for surface mobs and making it dark during the daytime. You cannot do that by just placing down solid blocks. If you do, it's going to make all the mobs that spawn on this layer cave mobs, just like all of the other ones, and they're going to take up the cave cap. So to get a little bit of extra oomph out of this farm, what we're going to do is we're going to trick the game into making this area dark enough to spawn mobs during the daytime, and the rest of the farm dark during the daytime too. But also make it so it thinks that this is the surface still, so we get more spawns. Now, first, you're going to go through, you're going to border this whole area just like this, and you're going to fill in the entire thing with leaves. Then, another thing that you're going to do is you're going to go out from the corner of the farm, and you need to go out at least 8 spots, 8 blocks. So you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you would do that right here too. So you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Do this on all 4 corners, and then go in and connect all the sides just like this. And make sure you connect it going this way too. You'll see in the following clip what it's going to look like when it's all finished. So now this is what you guys should have. And what I actually did, and you're gonna need to do too, is on top of that layer of solid blocks, you're gonna wanna put also a layer of slabs. The reason why is it's gonna block spawns here. The reason why we have these blocks here in the first place is it's blocking light from getting in on the outside of the farm, going in through these stairs right here, because on Bedrock Edition, light can go through stairs. So going out these 8 blocks will allow, or will block that light, making the farm totally dark. You could also shortcut this by going around and tracing the stairs all the way around, and that would also make it so it makes the inside of the farm dark. I chose this route because it was just easier for me to do. I could change that later. And we also have our leaf floor here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come to our leaf floor and we're gonna go up 5 blocks. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're gonna make a wall all the way around that is 5 blocks tall. Now that you have that, the next thing that you're gonna do is you are going to go through and put down some temporary blocks. These blocks are going to change. Leaves are easy for me to get up, so I'm just gonna stick with the leaves, but you guys use what you want. And you're gonna go through 1 block below the top, the surface of your like wall here, and you're gonna fill in this whole area. Now, once you have that whole area filled in, you just need to go through and, why didn't I realize that you can waterlog leaves? Anyways, I should be able to shift click. This is gonna be a problem. Okay, now with that problem solved, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go through and you're gonna fill in water all the way down on 2 sides. Make sure you have a gap between your first 2 water blocks. That way you can grab the middle. And again, remember, to create an infinite water source, you just have to go and continue to grab water that is not on the edge. As long as you do that, you will create an infinite water source. And we're gonna go all the way around the 2 sides. And once we fill in this last one right here. No, right here. No, right here. There we go. The whole thing folds in on itself and fills the whole thing in. The reason we do it that way is it's a lot easier to do this and then take out this layer than it is to manually fill all the layers of water. So now we just need to simply knock all of this floor out. The water will flow down, and what's happening is between the leaves and the water, it is making it dark enough down inside of the farm to spawn mobs. The light level will now be, once I get rid of these leaves, it'll be below a light level of 8, allowing mobs to spawn during the day or during the night. And there you go. So what I should be able to do is go down here. You see that big black ominous look in the sky there? And now we should have mobs spawning here, surface mobs and cave mobs all the time. So I should be able to go through and just constantly kill mobs as they drop down. So you usually get them in waves just because of how mobs spawn. They like to spawn in groups on the Bedrock edition of the game. But yeah, this thing is now fully functional. I say fully functional. Wow, he's staring at me really hard right now. Look at the back of my head. Look at the back of my head. It is fully functional, but it's not fully feature filled yet. So what we're going to do in the next episode, and I hope all of you guys join me, is we're going to put in a Trident Killer. Trident Killers are ultra important to mob farms because they allow you to automatically kill the mobs. You get the looting 3 effect from your sword. You get all of the experience points, and you can sit there AFK and not do anything. It is the perfect system, and it is a Bedrock exclusive. Sadly, Java Edition does not have this feature yet. Hopefully one day they'll have it too, which would be great. And we're going to install that item filter system too. And we'll have to figure out exactly what we're going to do. I don't know where I'm going to be filtering the items to, but we don't have time in this episode to do all of those things. So I'm going to manually kill some mobs, get some gunpowder, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.